Mhm.
Well, let's talk about shift gears and talk about the role of personality and culture fit. Is this
Mhm.
something that you look for when you sit down and have these in-person meetings, these interviews with potential candidates for jobs through your agency?
Absolutely. That's a huge piece of the process, I would say, is the personality fit and the culture fit. A lot of things can be learned on the job or trained, but you can't train somebody, to have the right personality fit for a team or an organization. So, and a lot of people think, oh, I can work anywhere. I'm flexible, but that really isn't the case. And people need to find an organization or find a place where their values align with that of the organization, and where it's a place that they look forward to heading into every morning. So really getting to know the relationship we build with our clients as well as the job seeker is crucial as far as making placements that are going to be successful.
You mentioned looking for organizations that reflect your values if
Mm-hmm.
you're a candidate. And any other tips, Jen, about how to show or explore culture fit when somebody sits
Mm-hmm.
down and talks with you or one of your colleagues?
Definitely. And when you talk about, values aligning, it doesn't mean it has to be a nonprofit. A lot of people, I think, hear values and they think, oh, well, I don't want to work in a nonprofit. But a lot of for-profit organizations definitely still have a mission statement or something that a job seeker would want to be able to get behind. So that definitely is something that we want to explore and just figure out what those
Hmm.
points are they're looking for. Is it just a salary? Is it just the next job to fill that gap? Or is it really a place where they want to put roots down and grow? And so I think really, figuring out what makes somebody tick, what energizes them, is really critical to being able to move forward.
Yeah. Now, in our course here at Maxless, we teach people that they should research the hiring organization before an interview so that they can understand an employer's problems and
Mhm.
position themselves as problem solvers. When the job is being filled by a recruiter, often the name of the clients you're working with is confidential and by
Mhm.
your client's choice. In this situation, how do you recommend candidates prepare and do
Mhm.
that kind of research or homework?
That is a great question. So when we're setting somebody up for an interview, if it is confidential, sometimes the first interview it will still be confidential. So at that point, we would just have told the person something about the industry. You can be very vague and still get a lot of information across. So you can talk about it's this type of industry, it's
Hmm.
this department or division. This is the type of person they're looking for. This is what didn't work with their last person. So not knowing the specific name of the company at that point, we've done all the legwork at that point so we can fill in the gaps. So there's a lot of trust at that point that does
Hmm.
go into, the job seeker giving a lot of trust to the recruiter to make sure that they are representing them and have their best interests in heart to get them in front of the right type of organization. So thankfully, it's not usually confidential for too long. There
Hmm.
definitely is a point where that trust has been established where we would be able to tell the job seeker the name of the company so they could do some research on their own. But we would really be telling them almost as much as they would be able to figure out on their own. So,
Right. And you're not sending someone to an address in an anonymous industrial district to show up for
exactly.
work. They're actually knowing where they're going to go to work before
Right.
they accept the offer. Yeah.
Right. Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. Great.
it's always very clear. I mean, we don't never want there to be any surprises
Yeah.
or that doesn't, do anybody any favors. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, what's the best way for people to follow up with you and other recruiters after that meeting, after that first interview?
And that's very important. In this day and age, we're so fortunate with electronic communication and cell phones and texting. So we really encourage our candidates to get a hold of us immediately after the interview. Especially in this market in Portland, it's so competitive right now. Things are moving really quickly. So if we don't hear back from somebody to be able to gauge their interest in moving forward, there's the potential they could lose out on that opportunity. If we don't feel like they're really engaged or excited about it. So even if it's not a position that they want to move forward with, just knowing that, having that immediate communication is really critical. Many people are working candidates, when they're looking for another job. So maybe they're, rushing back to their job. They've had to take a long lunch or something like that. So, we will take we'll communicate in many different ways. We text with candidates, emails are great, quick phone calls, whatever works.